to catch up. Let's open up OBS quickly. Alright. What's up, everyone? Let me grab the stream link and post it in Discord quickly, and then we can start. This music is hella loud on my end. I don't know about you guys. Let's grab this. I want to turn off this fan so you guys don't get it. Alright, let me just drop this link in Discord and we can start. Alright, stream has been shared. What's up, Driz? Dude, I wanted to show you guys something really cool. Something really crazy that I wanted to learn to do. I think I want to stream it on my channel just because it doesn't totally make sense yet for this channel. I'd have to find a way to like properly market it on this channel, but for those who don't know, you got free video editing programs and then you got visual effects kind of programs that do more 3D kind of stuff. So like video is very 2D, right? Like right now, I'm in a 3D space, like a camera here, I got a bottle here, right? But if I'm holding it like this, like you can tell the difference because of the blur, but for you, everything is 2D. Like there's no 3D object in front of you like it is for me, right? This is a 2D object. Anyway, so there's editors you can use, and there's modeling programs like Blender and things like that. And I saw some new Blender like designs, and they're unbelievable. Let me show you guys. I'd love to learn how to do this. Blender, no, it was CGI Storm. I think it was made in Blender. Oh no, it was in Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine Storm. Okay, I wish I wouldn't have told you guys what this was before I started streaming. Kind of have to, just because of context. But if I didn't tell you, like, I bet a lot of you wouldn't know that this is fake. 1 second, let me open up OBS. Alright. Wait, the sound. I got something in my eye. That's like a crazy, like, camera angle, right? In this storm. Like, how could someone survive while holding a camera in such a crazy storm? The reality is, this is all fake. This is all fake. Not one particle in this image is real. The trees flying, the lighting, everything is fake. It's unbelievable. Like the wind simulation, everything is CG. Like I've done like really basic simulation where like you have like a ball on a wall and the ball hits the wall and the wall just explodes into pieces. Like I've done that. It's not too hard to do, but I'd love to learn how to do stuff like this. And it's not crazy complicated. It's just knowing, like, there's so many tools. Knowing what to use is usually where I run into problems. You know, when you have like 250 different tools and you don't know what they all do because they're not named properly. They're just named after the person who created them. My eyes. Something in one of my eye. Yeah, stuff like this is insane. Like, Unreal Engine 5 just came out. If you guys don't know what Unreal Engine is, it's a game engine. So 4 has been out now for a while, and now 5 is going to be coming out in like 2021 or something. And it's pretty crazy the stuff they're doing. Unreal Engine 5. They put like a trailer out. So they have like crazy interactive lighting. Like this might not look crazy, but pretty much the way this, so they have this thing called RTX, crap, what's it called? There's like RTX on or something like that. It's pretty much the new the 20 series of the RTX GPUs. They calculate light like it is in real life. So like if there's a sun, it's putting out rays of light, and those rays of light hit something and then bounce, right? So like if my face is being lit, ray tracing, that's what it's called. Ray tracing. I can't believe I forgot the word. Anyway, so this game engine now has ray tracing built into it, and you can fully control it, which is really freaking cool. So they're showing you like the example in the cave. It's a really crazy example. Yeah, here. So look at the bouncing on the. So look how this wall on the right here. Let me make it full screen. This wall on the right here barely has light on it. It's just what's bouncing off of in the front here and in the back. And then as the light comes in, you could see like the trajectory. It's coming up from here, hitting here, and it's starting to bounce right there. It's crazy. And then they had like this this girl character here holding like this light ball, and you could see how like metallic surfaces had different ray tracing versus other items. It's pretty nuts. Should we send resume portfolios to Grammarly? Yeah, please do. We'll review it right away. This was too exciting to not show other people. Especially that forest. Oh, and they added something they called like, what was it? Particle intercommunication. So I think what that means in this case is the light is putting out rays, and when a ray of light hits one of these bugs, it runs away from the light, which is pretty nuts. It's not based off of the girl and proximity, it's based off of the light. Does that make sense? So like this light, in one of the examples, she turns it into a flashlight. Right now, you see? So right now it's a flashlight, and at one point she'll change the way she's holding the ball, and it'll become like a lamp. And when she turned it into a flashlight and actually aimed it at the bugs, they would run away from the light. It's pretty just nuts. The shit people think of. Yeah, there's so many cool things here. I don't make games or animations, but this makes me want to get and mess around it. Yeah, I definitely recommend Blender. It's so much fun to mess with, and I think jumping out of Blender into a video editor, you still learn some things. Blender is super cool. Like, Blender, what's his name? Not Blender Guru, the other dude. Crap. How should I put in my resume if I dropped out of university? I think the best thing to say is incomplete, and then you don't give any more details. It also depends on how far you got through it, and where you live sometimes also depends on how much they value the degree. Like where I live, they value it, but even though I did a year of a degree out of the 1 year out of 4, I still didn't put it on my resume because I didn't want it there. Like it depends on so many things. I'm adding Blender to my list of things I want to try and learn. Yeah, I mean, Blender itself is like, 20 years of using Blender, you still wouldn't know everything, but there's some really cool stuff like that. Second year of 3 in mathematics. I think it's fair to say, incomplete. Like that's a lot of work. You're 2/3 of it done. Let me show you this. Blender Storm. CG Geek, that's his name. He made something crazy. So I wanna do one of his tutorials on stream with you guys, and we could just like follow it together or something. But just watch this final piece. Does he give us? Look at that. It has like a plasticky fake look to it, but that's insane. That looks so good. Is there a big difference between Unity and Unreal Engine? I know that Unity uses C# and Unreal C++, but that's all I know. Yeah, they're two different They're two different engines. I think Unity, if you know C Sharp, is a good start. Like, okay, if you don't know C Sharp or C++, I would say go to Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine you can also use something called blueprints, which are literally code in a visual representation. Like objects and classes and all that are like blocks, and these blocks have like dots on each end, and you drag a line from one box to another, and that's how they connect. Just like you connect your code with variables. Like if you have a function put in data on a variable, and then another function accesses that data from that variable, you do the same thing, but it boxes and lines. It's super, super easy to understand and visually like get. I really love it. I did it for a bit. I think the hardest part is just a lot of the time you don't know all the boxes and all the functions and all the things you can use. So you kind of like, personally, I was spending a lot of time Googling, like trying to find what box I need for the next step of what I was trying to do. It's kind of like Firewatch, where it wasn't ultra realistic but still looked amazing. True. But it's like, I don't know, it's like this guy makes some really good stuff. CG Geek. I'm assuming that's why he's doing really well on YouTube. But like, look at this. Like, he has like, create a world in 1 minute, and it's actually a 1 minute video, a 1 minute and 11-second video. He shows you like where to get the textures and where to do everything. The one thing I didn't like, but I can understand it, was like he had like a 30-minute video that I watched like 20 minutes of. And well, I wasn't following along, thankfully. And at the end, he's like, all right, now we're going to get textures and we're going to go to this site that's not free. And I'm like, oh, you asshole. Super easy explanations too.
By choosing merge by distance, way better than UV spheres. Select your lamp, make it a sun, strength 8, angle of 0. Choose a blue background color. Duplicate your texture, open up the glossiness map, connect it to the roughness.
See, blueprints look like this, but in this case, he's using blueprints to do color manipulation. In Unreal Engine, it's blueprints for actual code. But the idea is you have, you know, a function here, and it has two variables, color and alpha. And then you just drag somewhere else to get those variables. So it's pretty easy. Thanks for the input. No, I mean, let me know how it works. Andre, one thing you can always do is try different things. Put it on there and complete. See how companies react to that. Take it off. Don't say you have it. I think you should focus a lot more on your projects. Even if you had a complete degree. That's personal opinion, but it's kind of a fact at this point. Your projects do carry a lot of weight when it comes to you applying to jobs, just because there's going to be 100 other people just like you who have that degree. So you have to have something that sets you apart. Looks interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's I think with Blender, the biggest thing is when you learn the tools, being creative and doing it on your own is really difficult. Like, following tutorials for VFX is somewhat easy. Sometimes it's a little complicated just understanding the tools, but actually, like, starting from scratch and trying to build something yourself, that seems really complicated. Just like having an image in your head, like, okay, I want to rebuild my house. I got desks, I got chairs, I got everything. Just doing all that seems like so much work. And it is. It's a lot of work. But it looks so much fun, like being able to, you know, like you can, for those who don't know, iPhones, the cameras they use have like insanely good motion capture. Because they have like on iPhones that thing where you look at the phone and then it has like an emoji on the phone, and when you move your face, it moves the emoji's face. Like that camera technology is huge. Like movies have that camera technology and they sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and iPhones have it in the camera. And so people have been making programs where like you design like a 3D character in your Blender or whatever, and you put your phone to your face and you record your face reactions, and you're talking and you're moving your lips and moving your face, and it maps that to your animated character. Pretty crazy. Honest opinion, projects versus certificates. Having a certificate means what? you have completed the course. It doesn't really give you a grade, it doesn't give you much, it just says you've completed it. Projects is something you actually made, or at least they're hoping you made it, right? They're hoping that you're being honest and you made it. And projects show everything. Being able to open up someone's project and look at their code and look how they comment things and look how they've been pushing their code up, and all these things really show how they work. Because you could see the timeline of their work. Where a certificate is just like a final thing. I think if certificates could show your progress, that would mean a lot more. So projects are a million times better. Honest opinion there. I think it depends for the field of work. Okay, so projects will always be the top, but yes, for the field of work, certificates sometimes are needed or more important. But projects are always needed. And by projects, it can be something else. But like even when you're becoming a doctor, you know, you gotta go do internships and work on projects, which in this case is saving people's lives. But it's, you know, actual practical experience, aka projects, is way more important. I heard in networking and cybersec certifications matter more than programming. More than programming, sure. But you still have to have projects. Like, certifications say that you've completed a course that is about a certain topic, which is theoretical experience. And that's good and all, but being able to apply that is different. Like, I think I've said this in my videos 1,000 times. I don't know why it's like my most popular analogy, but knowing how a car works and knowing how to drive a car, like theoretically knowing that the gas pedal makes you go and the brake pedal makes you stop, and knowing those things is good and all, but actually having experience driving a car means way more than all that stuff. Because if you learn to drive a car like raw, like you get in the car, you press the pedal, you realize you pressed it too hard, press the brake, you slam the brake, and the car slipped, like you actually have practical experience, and then you go and learn theory. You can apply theory to your practical experience. But if you just learn theory and you never actually do the practical thing, then it's just like, I don't know, it doesn't hold as much value. That's why I honestly think certifications, and I know a lot of companies don't care about certifications. I know in cybersec there are a couple of certifications that sometimes they value. Flashy portfolios with cool animations versus simple and to the point portfolios, what do you think is better? I think that answers itself. Flashy doesn't necessarily mean good. It's trying to like compensate for something. Have you ever crashed your car? I've never crashed, but I've spun out on a racetrack. That was pretty scary. I went into a turn, put some gas, put way too much gas, and I'm like, oh no, the car is spinning out, and I got lucky and didn't hit a wall. Networking trumps all, but programming isn't unimportant. It depends. Cybersec is such a huge area. In some areas, you're required to be able to read code and exploit and audit code. I think certifications are like the cherry on top for some companies, but I don't think a certification is ever like the base. Like if you just have a certification and go to a job, I don't think that's enough. I'm sure like people have done it. That's without a question, people have done it. But I know like for AWS stuff, companies like to see that you are AWS certified. You know, maybe if it's entry level, I don't know, dude. It's tough. I think that if you have good so if you have good projects and you are able to prove your actual like practical experience, that goes so much farther than anything else. It's not like college isn't useless, right? But having good projects is more important. Then if you want to go to college, that's great and everything. Like those people who go to college and work on projects on the side, and I've seen those people, those are the people who are going to thrive out of college. The people who put in the effort out of college. Which is why a lot of people don't like to go to college, because they're putting so much effort out of it, but paying so much to be in college that it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Like most people who I know who go to college, who don't put extra effort, are just doing it so that they can get the gratification of getting a degree. And they think that the degree will bring them security in their life and happiness and money, and it's just not like that. I know people who are doing degrees right now and love what they're doing, and they're doing it because they love it, and those are the people who are probably going to do better when they get out of college. because they're not weighing everything on that degree. They're just doing it because they love it. Also, you can have a certification and know much less than someone who doesn't. Exactly, because the projects are showing what you worked on. I think small companies want certs because they have more risk by hiring an unproven one. I think companies that are fearful, like you said there, are the ones that are going to want more degrees and certificates and all that. And the ones with more experience, the better jobs, are going to really look at you for who you are and what you can do. It's tough. I've seen both. I went to a job once where they were literally working out of an apartment. They had like 10 developers. It was like a Python. It was an AI app, and they needed a backend dev. Needed a backend slash what did they call it? The data analyst. Pretty much, you're building the backend for an Angular app, and then you were taking that data, manipulating it, and sending it to the AI app. So you're doing like the data manipulation, but they also needed a backend dev. You're pretty much doing a bunch of shit at the same time. And they didn't even like ask anything about my experience or anything like that. They just looked at my projects, and then my projects weren't good, and they didn't take me seriously. This was like after my first job, so they were my projects were garbage because those were the projects I used to get my first job. You know. I think so. I read that. Yeah, I think if a company tells you something like we aren't interested in you because your lack of a degree or a certificate or something like that, I don't think you want to work at a company like that. I think the best companies are the ones that could look at you if you could do the job or not. Like, hey, okay, here's Anthony. We need him to work on our React front end for this. I don't know. Let's say e-commerce store. Okay, super generic example. They're gonna bring you a code test, and that code test might actually have something that's related to the way you're gonna be working. And if you could do the code test, which is gonna be something you're gonna be working on, and you do it well, there is no reason to not hire you. They can always fire you, right? Especially in the US. They can hire Anthony, they could put him on even probation. I've done that before. I was on a couple week probation once where they're like, we want to see if you work. If you do things well, we'll pay you for it. It was a lower pay than the actual job pay, but how was your first interview ever? My first real interview wasn't that bad because I did a bunch of mock interviews, which is something I wish there was a way to like organize it properly, but the only way to do it is have people just go to a Discord call. But I was like interviewing the people, like friends and stuff, and just like pretending like it was a real interview. Like have like a generic list of questions, and they could pick up one and just ask me. And there was one website, 30 interview questions. This one, 30 seconds of interviews. This website is a lifesaver. So let me pull it up on the screen quickly. I didn't realize it wasn't full screen. So pretty much it's a bunch of questions that a web developer would get based off of language and framework, and also based on expertise. So check this out. One second, I missed a message. Look, college doesn't teach you shit. It gives you time and a rough gun. I think college can teach you some things. I don't think college is useless, but I think there's better options for some people. I think there's people who would thrive in college, for sure, and do really well, and then get out of it and do really well. But a lot of us just don't work. It's a very like one size fits all. I think that's a saying. Like there's a certain type of person that does really well in college, gets out of college, runs a business, gets a big job. There's a person like that fits perfectly. But then there's like 80% of people who don't fit in it, who just do it because they they're afraid of doing something else, or they want to make people proud or whatever. Hey, I'm back. What's up, Siberian? How's it going? I hate when people in my class rely on high school and doesn't care about learning on their own. Yeah. Which app are you on? But yeah, I wasn't screen sharing. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's still demotivating to see my classmates playing games 24/7 and thinking they will learn everything in school. Yeah, I mean that's the reality of it. The worst part is sometimes those people who play games all day are just really good natural learners, and they'll do really well in school. And then there's people who are playing games only 1 hour a day and spending the rest of the time learning, and they don't do as well as them. And that's just a fact. The best thing to do is just work on your skills, try and improve at learning. That's something I wish I would have realized many years ago. All right, let me show you guys this site. So it has a bunch of questions, easy to hard, in different ranks, and it prepares you for the web developer interviews. So like, what is the purpose of the alt attribute on images? And this isn't necessarily questions you'd see on an interview, but it'd be really good if you could have like a friend with you read you some questions from here, and you have to answer them in a most professional interview style way that you would, and then switch with your friend, and then he'll do it. It doesn't have Python. I'm sure there is another version of this, but I don't think it really matters on what's here. I think it's being able to explain yourself properly to somebody who might not understand perfectly. This site's amazing. Can you link in chat? Sure. Let's actually do one. All right, let's do one. Random one? Do I fuck up a question? Do I go hard? What is the children prop? I don't know how hard of an answer it wants, but the children prop is just inside of a parent prop. Oh no, this is a Redux question, I think. Alternate image doesn't load text. Wait, on that first question, this one? Information for an image if a user cannot view it. The alt attribute should be used to describe any images except those which only serve a decorative purpose, in which case it should be left empty. Good to hear. So look at the answers it gives you. Decorative images should have an empty alt attribute. Web crawlers use alt tags to understand image content, so they're considered important for search engine optimization. Put the dot at the end of the alt tag to improve accessibility. See, it gives you a really good description of an answer. And it actually teaches you things if you didn't know those. It's really cool. I'm really curious to try a really hard question. I know I'll probably fuck it up. What is the difference between an expression and a statement in JavaScript? Honestly, I don't know. Is it the way it's written? Is it like the pipe function? Oh, interesting. Okay, so you guys want to see the answer? It's a bit big, but expression produces a value. Statement performs an action. Thoughts on Dino? What's Dino? Should we Google it? Oh, I've seen some memes on this now. Now it all makes sense. A simple, modern, secure runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript uses V8 and a built-in Rust. Okay, so this is a replacement for Node? Or an alternative way to... It's like Node but more secure? Interesting. I don't know, does it work well? It looks pretty similar. Interesting. And it works with everything that works with Node? That's really cool. I didn't know this was a thing. Hey man, you still review? Yeah, send it into the email. It's on the screen, and in a minute or two we'll go and open up whoever sent in their stuff. Expression has the statement is just a statement. Well, there you go. You answered a hard question. If 1 is a binary expression, like made by the same creator though? The same creator as Node? It's from the guy that did Node, but he couldn't obviously complete change Node because too much companies rely on Node. Ah, that's really cool. He's building his own competition. What is the DOM? How's this intermediate? This should be extra hard for beginners, but really easy for people who know how to code. The DOM is the document object model. That is pretty much the HTML page. When you open your console and you see all the HTML, that is what it is. See? No way I could give you a detailed example. I just say that's where the HTML goes. It's in the DOM. React has a virtual DOM, or whatever it's called. Yeah, see, like, the questions aren't necessarily things you'd be asked at a job, but they're good for, they're really good for, what's it called? They're really good for you practicing how to answer questions. What are inline conditional expressions? There's just inline conditionals. What? If else. For example, this won't work. Oh, yeah, okay. It's something I didn't know. No, I read that. So he might do now. Gotcha. What do you guys think? Did we review some portfolios? Oh, crap. Oh, they even got recommended resources? That's cool. What is a closure? How do you describe CSS? Yeah, closure might be a question you get on an interview. Event-driven programming? That could be a question you'd get. Functional programming? That's a question I've seen before. I've had a question once in an interview where they were like, what's the difference between compiling and transpiling? I think that's what it was. I was like, JavaScript is a transpiled language, while C++ is a compiled language. And they were like, I was like, yeah, I totally know what the fuck I'm saying. There are portals and I actually don't know this. Interesting. Can apply propagation React in the bottom. What is a pure function? What is transpiled? Is it using an interpreter? So, JavaScript is in a language that gets compiled. So compiled languages are languages like C# or C++. They're lower level. They're lower level languages. And then you have languages like JavaScript that get transpiled, which is there a similar website for Python? I'm not sure, but we could take a look. So transpiling is like how do I say this? So compiling, you're turning it into machine code. You're turning C++ into like machine code. And JavaScript, you're transpiling it, you're translating it into C++. I guess you could say transpiling is when you turn TypeScript into JavaScript. Have you guys ever seen what that looks like? TypeScript to JavaScript example. Can we get an example, please? It's actually pretty cool to watch. Yeah, that's a good example. So here is how you would write this in TypeScript. Oh wait, no, this is a straight example. I just want to see a transpiled example. TypeScript transpiled to JavaScript. Even assembly machine, yeah, any type of machine code. I think there's a bunch of them. It's just an extra step, yeah. Assembly is very low level language, yeah. Because it's writing binary from what I saw. Assembly is like one level above binary, I think. Like JavaScript goes to C++, C++ will go to assembly, assembly will go to binary. Pretty much what's happening is when you move up in languages is you're trading comfort and being able to write a language and understand it easier, like with English. You're giving that up with performance, which is why JavaScript isn't as fast as C++, but it's a lot easier to write. It's very simple. It's very easy for a human to understand, but very complicated for a computer to understand. C++ is harder for us to write and understand because it's a lot of things, a lot of symbols, numbers, not a lot of spaces. You know, but then as it goes down, it gets easier for the computer to understand all the way to binary, which is like the easiest for the computer. Like if you could write code in Python, that'd be the fastest code you could write. Sorry, Python. Whoops. I mean binary. Not Python. Binary. Abstraction, that is the word. What's up, Bo? How's it going? How's the Rona situation here? It's alright. No one's going outside. No one's doing anything. You know, I mean, okay, that's not true. People are pretending like there's social distancing, but they're not. I was driving in the car with my dog 2 days ago, and one of the back streets we went to, there was like, it looked like a street party. Like 30 people with their kids and everything, just like standing and talking like in a crowd in the middle of the street. Social distancing and like blocking cars and stuff is just weird. People are weird. Same with Python, really slow but easy. Same with Python, really slow but easy to read. Yeah, I don't think it's really slow, but what's cool with Python is someone said this last stream. It's called Cython. It's like writing Python, but it gets turned into C. So you get the easy to write Python, but the super speed of a C program. There's a lot of really cool solutions now for this stuff. They're not confusing, they just take longer as they have more steps to get to binary execution. Are high-level languages generally confusing for a computer to understand? I would say they're harder for a computer to understand. There's more spaces, there's more symbols that aren't necessarily something that a computer would understand. Like, it has to be turned into a lower level language. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say it's more confusing for a computer to understand. I would say it's easier for a human to understand. Like, look at C++ versus JavaScript and tell me which one's easier to read. Python is written in C? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I just know, like for machine learning, you can use like TensorFlow, which you can write in Python, but it will turn it into C and C++, if I remember correctly. It's just cool to see like people trying to find a solution, so you can get both ends of the string there. All right, so wait, we got a couple emails. Was it Andre who sent one? Problem GGTV. Are you still here? I don't know what your name is in the email. I'm guessing it's Ryan. Or it's George. And then Siberian, I see your thing. Ooh, you changed the banner. Okay, let's see. Alright, so got a couple things to open up here. Ooh, George, I like it. Very, very minimalist. I gotta lower the brightness of the screen, it's killing me. Alright, so who sent in what? Have you made that model on the screen? What model? The one in the video here? No. This? No. I was showing some videos of some crazy CGI that I'd love to learn to do. So I think I'm gonna do that, just not on this channel yet. I think I'll do it on my channel. We could do that after the stream, actually. And then, you know, once I get a bit better at it, I could come here onto this channel and maybe teach it to people. It'd be super cool to like build like a little, I would love to make like a little show, or like those satisfying, this guy makes one actually. I'll show you, one sec. Where is it? Satisfying video, this one. I'd love to learn to make something like this. This isn't it, one sec. Oh my god, the ads today. Here, so like, he made this. How cool is that? So have you ever seen those like videos on Instagram? I think he actually shows some examples. Yeah, he shows a couple. Ones like these. Have you ever seen those on Instagram? Just like randomly satisfying CGI videos? So like he shows you how to make this one, and like I'd love to make one of those with you guys. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be like a pencil being sharpened, literally anything, but just learning how to make that and make it look this good. Like, look how good the lighting looks, look how good the metallic shine looks, like everything looks so freaking clear. You have my portfolio pull up? Can you give me that thought? Which portfolio was yours? Ryan, George, or yeah? All I think is, wow, those models are expensive. I think it was on a free site. Textures from here. Is it free? Yeah, it's free. There's some really cool textures here. He made one video where he showed you how to make like a forest. That was mind-blowing. That was like kind of complicated. He shined a light on a mountain, and then he took the parts that have a darker like shadow and said put grass on the dark parts, and then on the bright parts, which was the top of the mountains, put rock. And then once he rendered it out, it was like a mountainy area, but at the top of each mountain there was like a couple rocks. It was big brain. All right, let's start with the portfolio. I just don't know Ryan. Okay. Let's start with Ryan's. All right. So this is the landing page. Ryan, last name, computer science major. My goal is to make the world a more connected place through technology. I'm interested in pursuing a career in one of these fields. Contact me. What happens when I click contact me? Does it open up that stupid email app? It hasn't done anything for me. Sorry, I got tagged in Discord. Yeah, so contact me hasn't done anything for me. I don't know if it's intended, but what I would do personally is have contact in the nav bar and just leave it there. And instead of having a contact me button at the bottom of your page at the end here where you have a contact me section, you would have a little box here that has a what's it called? What's that word we used last time? Anyways, you have an input where I put my email, I put my name, and there's a box where I can put what I would like to send you, like, hey, it's Mike, loved your portfolio and your projects, would love to talk to you about a future opportunity, and I click send and it sends it straight from here. With my email and everything, it emails you right directly from the front page. That's what I would do, because some people don't use the native mail apps on their computer. A contact form, that's the word, thank you. I don't know why I forgot it. What's up, Mustafa? How's it going? So yeah, I would do a contact form at the bottom. Personally, the best thing in the world. You don't have to be like, I don't like using the native Microsoft email garbage app. I don't know about you guys. You know, on Mac you have the native email app. It's garbage. Using Windows features, exactly. Yikes, big yikes. Make me do it right off the website. Super easy for me. Super easy for you. I think you can even have autocomplete or autofill work in there. All right, yeah, so I would get rid of the contact me button. One thing I've said a lot on the stream is you have the front page, use it. Like, don't just put your name. Okay, you have your description here, which is already a big difference, but some people just put their name on the front page. That's all they put. They just have Ryan and last name in the middle of the page, and that's it, and you have to start scrolling to find things. So you at least have this, and that works. Again, personally, I would have your name in the nav bar where you have the RK here. And then next to it, I would have a dash and what title you want. Because you say you're interested in all these fields, and that's awesome. But if you were to send this portfolio to a job, they want to know what you want. Of course, if the job's like a specific, if the job's like a web developer job and you apply to it, you're going to want the web developer position. But just say that next to your name. Okay, let's move on. About me. You already had about me. What's this one about? I'm Ryan. I pride myself on hard work. I know you're Ryan. You don't have to say that again. By the way, I'm being super picky. I'm being an angry HR person right now. I'm not being Mike. I'm picking on you for everything. I'm Ryan. I pride myself on being hardworking, reliable, and team-oriented. I'd hope so. Some of my passions include basketball. No. What if? Okay. So, Ryan, you being a Hornets fan, what is the the competitor to the Hornets? What is the other team? I don't know the name of them. Let's call them the Bulls, okay? We're gonna call them the Bulls. So the other team, the one that keeps beating the Hornets, is called the Bulls. And everyone that likes the Hornets hates the Bulls. Everyone that loves the Bulls hates the Hornets. And you're blind to me, and I'm a huge Bulls fan. And I see that you say "Go Hornets" in your resume, and I'm gonna find a reason to hate you. Just because of that, I'm gonna find a reason to be like, we don't want this guy in our office. I don't want to hear him talking about Hornets for the next 2 years. People find reasons to hate you, so take this off. Honestly, exploring having positive impact on other people's life, that's awesome. I don't think you should be putting that here. In computer science, I want to build tools and connect the world. Yeah, so I think you should remove this. You should remove this. Well, just being honest. It's not that anything here is wrong or bad. It's just people judge, and you're making it really easy for them. So get rid of that. Some technologies I have experience with. Just have the skills and just say skills. So instead of about me here, just say the word skills. You know what? Here, we'll do it for you. Boom. Skills, organize them by section. So you have a lot of jobs you'd like to do here, and that's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. But depending on the job you're applying to, you should organize your skills based off that job. So if you're going to mobile development or machine learning or front end or web app, you need to organize your skills based off of that job. The reason is, the easier you make it for the person who's trying to hire you, the more likely you are to get hired. So think about it like this. I have a checklist in front of me. It's organized for me. Front-end skills that I need you to have, back-end skills I need you to have. If you had your skill section organized perfectly, mirroring that, there's no reason for me to say no to you. If I need HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and you have it organized in the front-end section and it matches my checklist, like, it's perfect. So do that. You just have a bit of lack of organization here. You're going from libraries, frameworks, language. Oh my god, brain fog. Anyways, it's not organized. Is what I'm trying to say here. So you gotta organize it. Skills first. He does have skills first. That's big up to Ryan there. A lot of people don't do that, so that's big. All right, let me catch up on some messages. I've definitely update that since I've been mostly working on web apps. That perfect. I didn't see that message, but that's perfect. So organize this as full stack. It's not even that hard to set up. A few lines of Python code. I think there's even libraries for it. Anyone done web dev with Python before? I've not really, but you could just use Django or Flask. It's not too hard. Hopefully you guys can't hear that loud ass vacuum in the background. Isn't all, put the music up a bit in case you guys hear it. Let me know. What is your resource to learn? Wizards, I guess. YouTube Googling, that's all. There's some really good resources for Django and stuff. Are HR not held up to discriminate against resume? Of course they're held up, but there's always going to be a reason. Like, no one's perfect, and you might have a reason that they'll usually pass by. They'll be like, oh, well, his JavaScript project looks a bit weird, but everything else is really good, so we'll hire him. If they don't like you, they'll be like, his JavaScript projects aren't that good, so we're going to say no. At the end of the day, they're not going to hire somebody they don't want in the office. And if you give them a reason for that, whether it's a discrimination reason or not, they'll do it. I mean, they're human, right? I wouldn't want to work in an office with someone who I wouldn't want to work in an office, but I think you get the reason. You get what I'm trying to say. Imagine if, like, you had like a terrible like marriage and terrible like experience with getting married and divorces and all that, and then you worked with someone who would always talk about his wedding and his marriage and his happy relationship, like that probably bother you. I mean, some people don't care, but you get my example, right? Like it's like that. Mom's cleaning your room. No, it's they're cleaning the garage right now. They did a bunch of drilling. Can you guys hear it though? Because I can get it turned off. It's kind of annoying for me. Oh yeah, it's crazy. One sec. Alright, we're back. Oh no, what's that? Alright, sorry about that, everyone. So, center the headers. I kind of agree with that. I think if you're gonna center or not, you have to figure out. I don't like this line, to be honest, just because it doesn't. Something feels weird about it. Let's get back to this. Flask for beginning and then learn Django. That works too. Do you think I could just lie to a company? Wait. Do you think I could just lie completely on a resume to try and get a non-technical job? So, a couple things. I'm not gonna tell you what to do or what not to do, right? I don't want to be liable for what happens to you. But I think you need to think about it in a couple angles. One is morally, how much do you care? Like, do you really need this job, or, you know, that's up to you. Another thing is, you never want to lie and get yourself in legal complication. You can exaggerate some things, right? Let's say you did a job for 9 months, and for the last 3 months of the year, you had a job gap, and you wanted to say that you worked there for 12 months. Personally, I don't think that's a big deal. Right? I don't think it's a big deal filling in those 3 months just saying you worked it at the job. But if you worked 1 month and you said 5 years, maybe that's big, a bit bigger of a deal, Yeah. I think it really depends on how you approach it. Okay, sorry. I'm catching up on. There's a lot of messages. Appreciate all you guys being here. There's 20 people here and 5 likes. So how about you like the video? Okay. I feel that you shouldn't lie, but only hide information. You could do that too. I don't think lying is necessarily the worst thing in the world if it's something that they would like discriminate you on or something, right? Like if someone asked you like, are you a Hornets fan? Because at the office we love the Hornets, and you wanted to, you're a Bulls fan, and you don't want to tell them that. That's fine. Like there's certain things you can lie about, and there's certain things you shouldn't lie about. You don't want to lie about things that they can sue you for, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. No problem. No need to disturb him. Nah. It was too much for me. Because my room is connected to the garage, so like anytime like someone bangs on a hammer or whatever, my whole room shakes. Single page or multi-page portfolios, do they matter? The smaller and the more simple you can do it, I think that's the best. Like nothing wrong with Ryan's thing here, but there's a lot of empty space. There's a lot of white space. Let's pull out the pen quick. White space here. I can't even see my mouse because of the dark background. Okay, there it is. White space there. A lot of white space here. A lot of white space here. Like there's a lot of room you could fill in and stop and make me scroll a lot less. I gotta say, I do like that it's kind of a simple website. It's not hurting my eyes or anything, but it does feel a bit plain. It's a weird like line you gotta find. Which site do you recommend to create a CV? I like Canva. There's Canva. I think Canva's probably the best one out there. There's also one called Crello, like Trello, but Crello. That's a really nice one too. They have templates so you can use things like that. Super easy. 98% of HR don't look past the first page. HR lady, that is very true. But I think he said multi-page website, not portfolio. Oh yeah, portfolio, not a resume. Which site to create resumes from? Yeah, so Crello or Canva. Play the game? What game? Oh, play the game. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's not lying if they don't ask. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, like, don't give them anything more than they need, right? Who dis? Who dis? Who you? It's Mike. I have stolen this channel once again. What about age? He gets discriminated on. Don't say age. Don't do that. I've done that. Don't. Another one hypnotized with Mike's CPU cooler. That's the point. Right inside is like the money logo, and you get hypnotized to spend all your money. I learned a lot about attention bias. Single page is the way to go. 100%. I like to squeeze everything as simple and short in one page or like one or two scrolls worth. Like I would have your name in the header with your title in the header. Like literally save all this room. Your about here, like your goal and everything. This is something you'd put on your resume or a cover letter. Personally, I would put that there. I would just have it go straight to your skills, and right under your skills would be your projects. So under skills you have experience. Why do I have to click on this to show information? I get it, it's like a cool way. Oh, whoops. Don't mean to dox. Why is your resume under your experience? I think the organization is a little issue here, but that's nothing big. So with experience, make it pop out always. Don't make me click for information. Like I wouldn't have known to click, and I could have just kept scrolling and been like, wow, he didn't even show me anything about his experience. So that's not very good, right? So yeah, just pretty much have it open already. Say your title, where you did it to the date. Under that, have your technical skills that you used. If you use Java and Python and whatever, list those right under the title so that they don't have to read this if they don't want to. Don't make a paragraph. Make 2 to 3 bullet points. I'm watching that 50% of the time. Go get GitHub Student Pack to all students. Yeah, that's a great pack. They have so many tools in there. Every time I see age on a portfolio, I hear a coffin dance meme song in my head. I showed that to my sister a couple days ago. Such a funny meme. When you say someone under 16 call gets disconnected, oh yeah, 100%. Because legally, you can't even hire someone under 16. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. Oh wait, I didn't mean to click that again. Fuck. Alright, this is interesting. I don't feel like this really adds any value. It looks kind of cool, but I would not have this animation, Ryan. I would just leave it the way it is. It looks really good like this, to be honest. Like, this is a really cool format that I've never seen before. Like the picture with the overlaid text, but it's not covering it. Like now it is, now it's not, now it is, now it's not. I would do it like that. I really like how you have a GitHub and a code button is what I'm guessing. Wait. Okay, so make these buttons open a new tab. It's literally one word that you add into your HTML attribute or React or whatever you're using. Make it open a new tab. Don't make it take over the current tab. Just little thing to pick on. But let's see. This account was solely dedicated to tracking the number of times that children treated in one day. That's hilarious. What's the most you've tweeted in one day? Can I see it? 13 times? 16 times? That's really cool. So, again with this, Ryan, under the title of the app, have the skills, or sorry, the tools that you use listed. So Python, whatever, Tweepy, API, all that stuff listed under the title of the project, so that if I don't want to read your description, I can just see what you used right off the bat. Make it easy. What's up, Andrew? Target blank, yeah, that's what it is. So that's really cool. I really appreciate this thing. I don't like the animation. I would remove that right off the bat. Matchup or math up. Okay, what is this? Yeah, see, it's bugging me because I'm moving my mouse around like to put on the picture, and it's running away from my mouse. Basically like a bulleted list. Yeah, I would do a bulleted list. He's got the room for it. He can make the font a bit smaller, and it'd work perfectly. I really like this format. What do you guys think? Math up. Currently developing an Android. Okay, so get rid of the currently developing. If it's not done, don't put it on here. If it's done, put it on here. Half done projects is the worst thing you can do for yourself. Currently developing an Android app that allows the user to practice and learn elementary level math, built with Kotlin, Firebase, and okay, so built with, remove this sentence and just list the skills right under the name Math Up. I would say an Android or a mobile app that allows users to practice elementary level math. And then you have 2 more bullet points you can use to talk about some feature about the app. You know? Expensive, developed, and yeah, so again, get rid of these descriptions. Just talk about the app. Expensive, what was it built with? Write it on the bottom here. Instead of writing it there. Built with the MERN stack. You could say the actual pieces of the MERN stack there. Half-developed project hurts you more than it helps. Oh, 100%. Imagine spending the time opening someone's portfolio, looking through all their information, seeing if they're good for your job, opening a project, seeing it's half done. You know, that's how you get your website closed within seconds. It feels like you didn't take the effort to finish the job, to finish the project where you applied before you applied to the job. You know, that's what they would feel like. Like I said, they're gonna find reasons to say no. There's 300 other people on the desk that they're going through, and you're one of them, and you gotta stand out. But when I say stand out, you gotta stand out because you're so much better than everyone, not because you have cool animations or something flashy. Not that this is, you know. I really do like this format. Sorry, I missed a couple messages. Check its responsiveness? Sure, let's do that. Better than to-do list or a COVID tracker. True. Even if you made the best COVID tracker in the world, they're probably just gonna be like, oh, it's just another one. Ooh, that looks good. Except for the, okay, so again, this part needs to be organized and cleaned up, but this doesn't look too bad. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger for you guys. Does it scale width and height? That's cool. So on an iPad, it would look like this. I like it. Looks good. Maybe a bit too much padding, but otherwise pretty good. Yeah, I guess on mobile he can get rid of the padding. That's true. But like an iPad version would look pretty cool. Yeah, I could see what you mean. Definitely too much padding. But also, I'm on a bigger monitor than most people. So this is what it would look like on his computer, but this is what it would look like on mine. Why is there space in between? Yeah, I'd remove a lot of the padding in between things and make this could be like a 1.5 page resume. 3 decent projects. I'd say you need more, 1 more web app project, something like this. Like this MERN app, if it is what you say it is, this is big. This is a big project right here. I'd make more of these. Nothing wrong with Math Up or with the tweet tracking bot, but these are more like cool projects. Well, this is the big stuff right here. A CRUD app with actual functionality, expense tracking for individuals and small businesses. Like that's big. Imagine coding to-do list tutorials. We've all done them. Nothing wrong with it. You just can't stay at the level. It makes you seem like you can't finish projects. Yeah, I think it's more like it feels like you didn't put the effort to finish it before you applied. You know? So it's like, what kind of effort are you gonna put in our company? It just makes you look bad, even if you're not bad. What's up, Kai? How's it going? This has reminded me to work my portfolio of a bunch of private repos I worked on that needed to fork and make public. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, having 3 to 5 good projects really makes a difference. Like when I say good projects, I mean like if you're going for a full stack job, you want to make something like one app that I saw that was really good once. I don't remember who made it. I think it was Alan from Discord. It was a gym website, and it had all the functionality of maintaining and managing gyms. It had like an admin control, and then it had like teachers control, and then you can have like private people who would rent out the gym, and it had a full calendar, and it had like everything you would need to run a gym business software wise. Everything. We're talking like employee management, customer management. If you were like a teacher or whatever it's called, let's say let's say you were a teacher, right? So like you had a class in the yoga gym, and it would show all your students, and it would show the teacher, and you can it had everything. Stuff like that is huge, because it's like that's the kind of site you can be working a job for. You know, like let's say you built that, and then you went to a company that has one of those, or that works in that kind of industry. That would look really good, because it's something that you'd be doing on the job that you've already built on your own. Like if you're going to work at Heroku, right? If you guys know what Heroku is, they host projects. If you were to go work at Heroku and you built like a very basic version of Heroku, or even a complex version of Heroku, and that was your project on your resume, Heroku clone, and you went to a job and you were like, here's my Heroku clone, like that could be big. Maybe don't call it Heroku clone, but it's like looking for like a car mechanic and not knowing if he can work on your Ferrari, and then like seeing that he has a Ferrari and that he's been working on it, one just like yours. You'd be like, okay, well this guy obviously fucking knows how to work on the same thing. He's perfect for the job. He's already doing it on his own. He's just gonna come do it for me. I don't know why Ferrari came to my mind, but yeah. I guess people with other cars don't really care. They just go to wherever. Test page on Speed Insight. Let's just audit it. Alright, while that does its thing, let's read chat. There's a lot of messages today. It's nice. Nice to see that people are talking in chat. I had to work around some colors. A modern font would help a lot. Yeah, I think the colors feel weird. They don't feel contrasty because the background's blue and the font is blue. I feel like it needs, I don't know. I personally would make a white theme as well. Now the background's dark. People need to get attracted like a background image. Yeah, a bit more graphics, art, something. Where can I find his project? Well, I could post a link in chat. I'm sure he wouldn't mind since I'm reviewing it on stream. A good score. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Accessibility is low, and that's because of the colors. 100%. Let's see. Avoid enormous network payloads. Oh, the pictures? That's fine. It's saying that this picture was an enormous payload. You can down-res it if you really care, but I don't think it matters. Background and foreground colors do not have sufficient contrast ratio. Agreed. Make me a mod. I don't think we even need mods on this channel yet. Not till we get to like 100 viewers. 100 viewers and I'll make people mod. Image elements do not have alt attributes. Oh. We talked about this earlier in the stream. What do alt attributes do? Come on, chat. I'm testing you all. What do alt attributes do in an image? Why is it good for some things? Why is it bad? Come on, hit me up. Links do not have a discernible name. Oh, SEO problems. Not very good. 80 more people will have mods. Sure. I think it's Lighthouse. Yeah, but alt describes an image for the scrapers and all that. It's for SEO. Yeah, it's for SEO and it's good for accessibility, which is why his accessibility score was not very good. Displays images with incorrect aspect ratios. I don't think that was a big deal. That's fine. SEO images don't have alt attributes. Yep, we just talked about that. But everything else looks good. Everything else looks good. Yeah. Perfect. So great job on that, Ryan. I think this is probably one of the best portfolios we've gotten in the sense that like it wasn't over the top crazy. It was kind of like simple, nice and clean, just like little things to fix. Just the spaces and stuff. Also, yeah, experience. If you're not gonna do it like properly, remove it. And projects should go way above experience, light years above experience. What's under this? Contact me. Yeah, we talked about that. All right, I think we're good to go on this. Ryan, I hope it was helpful. If you have any more questions, talk in chat or DM me in Discord or whatever. I'm glad to help. All right, Georgie. Is that how you say it, Georgie? Your turn. Accessibility, and when the image doesn't load, it's just text. That's true, but it's more focused on when Google is scraping through it to see what it is. They're like, what the hell is this image? And it doesn't have a description, so they're like, oh, it could be something really bad, and then they don't boost you. They don't give you high points for that. Here's where you review. It's the only project I have actually uploaded. One of those is named Denis, so there's no reason to try and open up the rest. Don't want to waste your time. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna be the angry HR lady right now and tell you, Georgie, don't send in something that's not finished. Even though we'll still go through it. I'm just saying, like the fact that you said just don't want to waste your time because you don't have finished projects. Like, don't ever send that to a job and say something like that. Just in case you didn't know. Right off the bat, fonts are all over the place. It seems like you got one font here, one font here. Personally, I don't like the serif fonts or the ones with like the little tips at the end of the letters. I think those look really weird on websites, especially websites that scale up and down. See, like there's like ends on the V here, and same thing with here. They don't feel as modern and professional. Personally, I don't know. So I don't use those. Yeah. Good SEO, front page of Google. Not really, but at least you're not on page 1254. I didn't think about that. Thanks for the info. No, thank you. Why is this so small? Probably because I'm on a 4K monitor. Serif font. Yeah, so it's serif. It's not non-serif. HR is... I don't know. I mean, yes, but no. Why is it angry HR lady and not man? I guess because I think of Karen. You know, like the typical meme, Karen. It's like the HR lady that screams at you for no reason. Or like anytime there's like a girl who does something really dumb, they call her the Karen. And every time there's a guy who does something really dumb, they call him Chad. It's just, I don't know. The first thing that comes to my head is Karen. She goes partying with her friends on a Monday night, comes in Tuesday and screams at the intern because he didn't bring her coffee fast enough or something. That's Karen. How many projects should you list on portfolio? How much is too much? I think over 5 is too much. We've had submissions where we've had like 15, and we had one dude who had like 300 projects. So he had like 10 main projects, and then he had like 300 mini projects. I don't know. I think Driz was there. Siberian, I don't know if you were there, but this dude literally had like, he said like Java was like a language he learned, and then under Java he had like 100 projects that all involved Java. These are like mini projects, but he had them all listed and organized, and it was insane. I hate typical Karens. My mom asked me to explain what a Karen is the other day. That's funny. Just show her a video. There's so many memes on Karens. He was here. Yeah, remember that dude? It was really nice and organized, but it was way too much. You were there. Yeah. The dude had like 300 projects. Gonna stream FIFA Oof. Good luck. Don't screw up no goals. Hello World is the best project. I agree. It'd be cool if someone made like a Hello World project that was like super complex. Yeah, a bit too much for HR to manage. Yeah. Oh my God. For anyone to manage or a team of people would have been too much. It was great. It's just like it was too much. This dude had to be 90 years old with these many projects. No, it was just like. So when you learn a language, you do like mini projects, like little single function or 3-4 function projects that like take in something, put out something, or do something based off of your interaction. And he did a bunch of them while he was practicing, and he fully documented them and put them in GitHub and made a GitHub repo for each one. And then on his website, under each language, he had all of those practice projects. So they were like, you know, there was like 100 per language, and he had like 5 languages on there. There were many, to be honest. Still, you know, do I have to donate for resume views? Not at all. Just you guys being here is big for this channel and for me. This channel isn't even monetized, so yeah, that's the goal right now. Monetizing this channel, maybe getting 50 concurrent viewers would be nice. But more important is engagement. Like if I'm streaming and absolutely no one's talking in chat and no one's like here and I'm just streaming on my own, it's like, okay, well, clearly the stream is garbage. You just email them to Grammarly? Yeah, just email it to the email on the screen and we'll look over it. Just make sure, Jack, if there's any information you wouldn't like to be shown on stream, that you don't put it there. I am Driz on 2. That is true. I think if you guys want, we can stream again on my channel, which I'll post in the chat right now. We can stream again on my channel tonight. We'll continue the stream. I'm gonna take a break and then I'll start again. And we could do some Blender stuff. Would you guys like that? Do some Blender animations? Maybe we'll do one of these tutorials. We'll build this. That could be fun. It'll be pretty much like an hour and a half of me just struggling, but it's fun. We can build rocks and stuff. And then and then after that we can make a storm. That'd be really cool. I think one thing I'd love to try is water simulation. That would break my computer, but it'd be super fun. Like have like a faucet and water comes out of the faucet and drips into a drain or something. Something that simple, but depends on time. Well, we could do it in a multi-stream. We can do one today, one tomorrow, or whatever, you know. The next video I want to put on this channel is going to be how to price yourself when you're freelancing. So a lot of people don't know how to price themselves when they're freelancing, and also people don't know what structure to use. Like you can freelance per hour or you can freelance per project, right? And they both have pros and cons. Like I actually have a script written out now, but how do you deal with procrastination? I procrastinate a lot, but what I try to do is I have like a standard in the morning of like what I need to do to, like let's say I really want to play a game and I can't get it out of my head and I really want to play it. I'll give myself like a list of things I have to finish to play the game, and most of the time I'll rush through those things to try and get to the game. So like I'll tell myself like, all right, I really feel like playing League of Legends right now, but I have things to finish. I have to upload a stream, I have to stream, or I have to make a video, or I have to work on something on the website or whatever. I'll make myself like I have a list here. See? And if I cross out everything, then I can go and play the game. Do a dopamine detox? That sounds kind of cool. I would try that. 100% if I get the notification. All right, well I can post in Discord about it. It's a good idea. Cool. Yeah, procrastination is tough, but look, you know what? If you're really interested in it, pessimist, if you're really interested in procrastination, look at read about human behavior and like why we procrastinate. Understanding it really helped me kind of learn more about it. Like why do we avoid doing things that we sometimes love, right? Like if you love to code and you really enjoy it when you're doing it, but then like when it comes to actually starting, you really don't want to do it and you just want to go watch a movie on Netflix and whatever. Like why do we do that? I was reading like a really interesting research on like directors and leaders. There's actually a really good YouTube video on it. Leaders, do they have to be assholes? I think that's what it's called, assholes. This one. Dick, do you have to be one to be a good leader? And it's a really good video. And pretty much like directors on movie sets make everyone on the set want to quit their job and leave. And the reason is because they push them out of their comfort zone. And that's when true growth happens. That's when you're truly learning, and when you're out of your comfort zone and you feel like you just want to quit right there and you're hating it in the moment, but when it's done, you feel really good about it. And it's just like an interesting like thing that people don't think about. Like the people who make you feel really comfortable isn't bad necessarily, but they're not pushing you out of your comfort zone and making you improve. They're kind of keeping you in your comfort zone. It's really interesting to think about. I watched it. It's called Dicks. Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny how they named it and like filmed it. Andrew Kirby's channel for procrastination. Check it out. I'll take a look at that. Sounds cool. Kirby, like the video game. All right, sorry, Georgie. Let's get back to your thing. We're procrastinating his portfolio here. Background is slightly pixelated. If you can find a higher quality one, but this one kind of works. It's just if you were to put it on a really big monitor, I think it would start to break up a bit. It would start to pixelate a bit. It's like on the edge of good quality. One thing I've said a billion times on this channel, that I don't mean it like that as in like I'm trying to put you down, Georgie, because you could have missed all those streams, but one thing that often people do is have their name and the title on the front page, and that's it. You got a full front page here and you got my attention, and all you're doing is showing me your name twice. So what I would do, what I recommend, is you have Georgie and your last name up here in the nav bar, and right next to that you would have web developer. So Georgie, last name, comma, dash, whatever, web developer. And then under that, start right away with your projects and everything. So skills, ooh, you got it organized. I like it. I do like the organization. I can appreciate that. Spotify, I don't know what that is. YouTube DL, I've heard of that. Sometimes I don't. Okay, so tell me what you guys think. But I think personally, it's better to have front end and back end and have languages and libraries within those than to split them into 4 different categories. I think it makes it a little complicated. I do appreciate other. Communication and problem solving are things you have to have, so you don't even need to list them. So yeah, the skill section, much better than a lot of people send in. Personally, I would have libraries and programming languages within front end and back end. Also, up to you, but I like to say software engineer instead of web developer. I'd rather say software engineer specializing in web development than a web developer, because I think people focus on titles a lot, even though I don't. I just know what people like to hear, and people like to hear the word software engineer or software developer. Projects. Essential Dini pick post. Live demo view code. Okay, so look at Ryan's portfolio. Ryan, who just sent in his portfolio. Look how he gave me a picture to look at, and then he had on the side of that description, whatever. Do that. You got plenty of room on this page, but you're squeezing everything together in these tiny little cards. Also, this is a little hard to read just because it's so squished. Like every 2-3 words, my eyes have to jump and jump and jump. So I would make it rows instead of columns. I wouldn't say skills I learned with this project. I would say skills, and then under that, skills that you used. When you say basic HTML, simple design, etc., you're pretty much like beating your own kneecaps and trying to walk. Like you're making it hard for yourself. Simple design, who decides that? Let them decide that. Basic HTML, let them decide that. My first use of CSS, you don't have to let them know that. And if you feel like you have to say basic HTML and first use of CSS because your project, it doesn't make you feel confident, don't put that project on here, make a new one that you're confident with. Because that's what I feel like you feel. I feel like by you saying basic HTML and first use of CSS, you're saying I don't feel confident about this project, so I'm trying to say basic because I am worried you'd think this is how good I am. When really you're better than this, but you're saying it's all you have right now or something. That's my personal view on this. Let's see live. Oh, you said those don't work. Let's look at this one. Is it Heroku app? DD. Oh, so there's no actual front end either. Project is a simple. Okay, so you're doing it again. You're saying simple. Why are you saying simple? Why are you ruining your chances by already putting yourself down? Let the person deciding, the viewing it, if it's simple or not. And if they think it's simple, then you're not doing a good job in making it seem good. For the front end, I use HTML and CSS. I don't really see much CSS there. On the back end, I decided to use Django. Okay, so this is a little too much reading here. You need to make it super easy. You don't need to describe things in detail when it comes to what you chose or whatever. You just have your skills listed under the name and with a picture. And then you can say, this project is a Spotify clone. It allows users to do X and Y. A user can also do X, and a user can actually also do A, and if they'd like, they can do B. You know, something like that. Show me, like, give me a taste of the functionality here. Something cool that it does. What makes this project cool? Instead of giving me 4 lines of tech that you used. You don't have to say about this project, just have text. Skills you learned, don't do that. Just say skills, and then Django, YouTube API, Spotify, whatever, you know. All right, let's read some messages. Searching energy for tomorrow, do the dopamine detox thing. I'll try that. That sounds cool. You send me the link, Kai? Is web dev the most in-demand field of software? I think so right now, yeah. I think it's just because it's so there's so many aspects of web development that leak into other types of development. Just like if you did game development and wanted to go into like 3D modeling, there's a lot of things that go in between those two. You know, so like when you do web development and you jump into mobile development, you understand the basic structure of things and you can move that over. When you do data analysis, you jump into back-end web development, you can move over those things pretty easily. Like, you know, things overlap from web development into more of the project. It's like that circle, the 2 circles that overlap in the middle. Everything has a slight overlap with web development because it does so much is involved in web development. So I think, yeah, the best portfolio I've seen is Bruno Simons. We can look at that one after. That'd be cool. I saw one really good one from one dude in Discord. Let me see if I still have it. Oh, here. Oh, he removed it? Yeah, so like, look at these. So these are the type of websites. Shit. No, I'm not trying to leak. I'm not trying to leak. Look away, everyone. No. No, damn it. Alright, here. These are like the projects he's worked on. Whoa, that's not safe for work. Role, UX UI, context, freelance, year 2016. See, it's a really cool animation and stuff, but it's bothering me because it's really hard to get the information. So I think this is a real fancy website. It moves with your mouse and stuff, but I can't show that picture right there. View more. It's a real satisfying looking website. But there's a lot of scrolling and a lot of things to look through, you know. Anyways, so back to Georgie. Yeah, don't do columns, do rows. Use that big room you got all around here. About, you don't need this. This would go on your cover letter or, you know, the top of your resume, maybe 1 sentence. Don't put that here. This is just a way to show your projects and skills. Contact, beautiful. Don't mean to dox you on stream, but Add a contact form. Make it easy if they want to email you that they don't have to copy paste your email. They could just do it straight from the website. He might be UI UX manager. Yeah, he was. No, but the dude who I wanted to show you his portfolio, it's not available anymore, sadly. I wonder why. I know he got a job, but I guess he took it down. Yeah. So Georgie, I hope that helps you out. I do appreciate you having navbar with clickable buttons. I think that works really well. One thing you could add, if you'd like to, at the bottom is experience and education, just like you have on your resume, if you want. It's not really needed, but I think it's easy to have it there just if people want to take a look. If you don't have experience, then yeah, don't put anything. My banners turn next to 100%. That loading page when loading is look cool. Yeah, I read that already. Smooth scrolling? I don't know. You don't necessarily need smooth scrolling. I guess that could work. But I think for Georgie that he should have everything on this initial page, like skills and everything up there, and then right under that start your projects. Maybe if you want, Georgie, look at like 8K images, like something crazy high resolution, and crop it to fit your website where it's like two scroll worth. Like let's say this, so this first page and the second page was all like a rectangular cut from a really high quality image, and then you wouldn't have to have this black box that cuts off this cool image in the background. That could work, but that's tricky because of resolution and you don't want too big of a file. But I think the black box here cutting the image just doesn't look good. Let's audit it before we finish. Appreciate the review. Thank you for sending it in. Ooh, so we got some issues here. This is gonna be interesting. Doesn't need smooth scrolling. I don't really like smooth scrolling. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Smooth scrolling is a little annoying. I'd rather just control it myself. Okay. Performance, you hit 100%. That is awesome. Accessibility, you hit really bad. Okay, not really bad. You hit bad, but let's see why. HTML element does not have a language attribute. That's not good. Image elements do not have alt attributes. Oh, you need those. Links do not have a discernible name. You need those. Best practices. Does not use HTTPS. It doesn't? I didn't realize. No, it's not secure. That's not very hard to do. I don't know where you're hosting this website, but that is something you definitely should do before you send this website to a job. Because that is a actual security issue when it comes to the job and how they interact with your website. So, yeah, do that. Add HTTPS. It's not too hard to do. There's 1,000 videos on how to do it. SEO. Document does not have a meta description. Well, probably should add one of those. Image do not have attributes. Yep, we talked about that. Robots.txt is not valid. Lighthouse was unable to detect a robots.txt file. Alright, so you're missing a file somewhere. Maybe it's throwing an error as well. Yeah, so look into that. Definitely look into that. Everything else seems fine. You need some error handling, I guess. So when it's not one thing like service workers, so you can work offline now. Yeah, you need HTTPS. That HTTPS. I can't say it properly. You definitely need that. A lot of free hosting already has built-in SSL. Yeah, I don't know what he's using though. But even if it's not, even if you're hosting it on your own, it shouldn't be too hard to send to set up for yourself. On Netlify, they give you that instantly. Yeah, when you use Netlify, DigitalOcean, you can set it up pretty easily with oh, what's it called? There's a bot that does it. I don't remember the name, but there's like 2 different things you can use. Like, oh, Certbot. Yeah, you can make it work. All right, let's move on to Sabrian College's YouTube channel. Crafter and coder learn to code, craft, and see the world from a new perspective. Okay. The colors don't work. Blue on white on black and red, it doesn't work. These are colors that mean a bunch of different things and they don't really blend in properly, so I would redo that. I'm terrible at making YouTube banners myself. You can go see the ones on the other channels. Like, this is the one I made. It's not crazy, but I just took a general picture from one of those stock image websites. I blurred it out. I threw text on top of it with a very slight shadow. I picked a font that's super easy to read, and this one looked kind of techy, so I was like, yeah, that's cool. I put the name of the channel. I put subscribe for new videos, white on blue. Blue is usually a happy color. You can use green as well. And then, yeah, and I have the slogan at the bottom. It's pretty simple. My personal one is similar, and I think Josh's is also similar. Let's see. Yeah, this one is just me fixing the camera and my name in the title. I have to add like subscribe or something like that, but very simple. Josh is even simpler with just a gray background. But yeah, your colors just don't mix well. They're not very, like, they contrast very awkwardly. So I would fix that. You added some new videos, so let's see. Ooh. So, okay. First mistake you made. Making a palindrome checker. Right, okay, so the first thing that I see is that the spaces with the text you're using right now are really small. And it kind of looks like one giant word, making a palindrome checker. I would remove the making part and just say palindrome checker. Under 5 minutes fully explained. Making a palindrome checker in under 5 minutes would be the title. And then that's it. And then one thing you didn't take into account here is when I highlight my mouse over this thumbnail, most of the font on the right here is being blocked off. I have to release it. I haven't finished the whole pack. For some reason, I keep procrastinating it, but I created, where is it? In the courses that I was making, YouTube course. I built this. One sec, I'm gonna open it up for you. It's like this template that looks like this, and it shows you like where to put important things in the red circles, in the intersections of the lines. And then I have like a grayed out version of the clock here and a grayed out version of the timestamp, and if you put font, it'll be covering that. It's like an actual thing you can put over your... It's like an alpha mask that you can actually put over like your thumbnail and see if it fits all the requirements. I haven't completed the whole pack. But I would recommend you take that into account when doing your thumbnails. In 2020, more simpler than the logo, the more the better. The simpler the logo, the better it is, yeah. I just realized that, yeah. That's something to take into account. Same thing here. The one problem with these thumbnails that a lot of people do is they have a lot of text, and it's just a lot to read, especially on a really small thumbnail. So, yeah, I keep it to like one thing. Like, you can see it on my channel. Like, I try my best to keep it the lowest amount of words. Like, teaching you how to build things. Avoid getting kicked from Code Bootcamp. Portfolio reviews. Building robots is easy. Sneak peek. I built a pro gamer robot. Things like that. Like, they're very simple words. Researching bad boot camps. Yeah. The font is hard to read from a distance. Which font? The thumbnails are really big right now. You do have contrasting font. White pops out on black, pops out on red, pops out on yellow. A lot of people have different opinions about this, but colors you got to be very careful with. Like having red and having yellow is they're very dangerous colors to put in a thumbnail because they make people feel a certain way. Like this feels like caution. Like making a palindrome checker, caution. And free code camp solutions in red feels like bad. I would just stick to white on black, and then a background would. I feel like you could do something better from the background instead of having a low res picture of the free code camp logo, especially because it's being covered by a bunch of text, so it's not really like prominent what's behind it. Wait, that's thumbnail. Can you put the image? Wait, what's that thumbnail? Can you put the image in download? Will help a lot. Wait, what do you mean? So bad color correction? Yeah, I think it's just bad coloring. Like colors have certain meanings. Green, yellow, red, white, black, all in one thumbnail. Yeah, exactly. I think you need to stick to black and white. Works really well. And then the background image, I feel like you can do something more. Like a lot of the times you can go like stock image sites and search up like code maybe. Let's see what it gives us. Still learning, experimenting. Oh yeah, it's gonna take time. You know, you can always like take a different picture every time of like something very abstract. I guess this could work. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but you could, let's say for the example, you take this and you blur it out even more. You blur it out to the point where you could barely tell it's a hand on the computer. It's just like a general abstract picture. And then on top of that, you put your fonts and everything. I am from Redacted. Is it actually redacted or are you just trolling? Typical pictures of web landing page backgrounds? Yeah, that could work too. Yeah, I mean, there's good ones around here. You just gotta look for them. You do some digging, you find something. The ratio of the thumbnail? What do you mean? Oh, the template? I made that. I released a YouTube product, but it hasn't been doing too well because I think people aren't necessarily looking for something like this. Like we have to redo that. I'll show you. It's on the Grindreel store. We called it the YouTube Starter Kit. It has channel artwork templates, so like what you're making, YouTube thumbnail guidelines, YouTube end cards, stream templates, royalty-free music, 100 free fonts, 100 video ideas, and then more. So you see, like we have like yeah. I don't think people were looking for this. We sold a couple of them, but yeah, I'm gonna hopefully just release the template soon so people can just use it. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please leave a like. It does help us a lot. There's 19 of you and 14 likes, so 5 of you are missing out on the fun when you like the button. Just realized one thing: when there's a lighter color, you get more CTR as a. Wait, what? When there's a lighter color, you get more CTR. What's CTR? That sounds so familiar. Click-through rate. Yeah, brighter thumbnails get a higher click rate, 100%. That's why, like, whenever I make a thumbnail of me or Josh, I'll put the brightness up in the image just higher than it look like. I'd find what it looks good at, and I'd put it a bit higher, just because when you throw it into YouTube, it slightly darkens it, because it compresses it, so it gets darkened. Is there anyone else who would like their stuff reviewed before we end the stream? Oh yeah, Jack Kelly, you sent in your stuff, and then Devansh, is that how you pronounce it? I think you wanted yours reviewed too, right? You sent an email? Yeah, I almost forgot about you guys. Alright, Jack Kelly, let's pull yours up. You blocked everything? Perfect. Alright, let's start off with the top. Jack Kelly, I don't know what you say under here. Oh, software developer. It's in big font, I didn't even realize. Jack Kelly, LinkedIn, it's a clickable link, beautiful. Skills. I don't know why you have this big line. I see you're doing it everywhere, but it feels weird. Maybe remove it. I'd remove it. Software and tools. Okay, so you need to organize this big time. You're going for a software developer job. What kind? Are you going web developer, mobile, games? What kind of development are you going into? I'm guessing web development based off of your experience or education. Organize it like a web developer job would show. They'd say front end skills, back end skills, and yeah, software and tools like Visual Studio Code, Adobe Suite. Those are like not that important to put on there, but if you do, you can just put them at the bottom as others. Operating systems, you don't really need those. Like most jobs interviews I've been going to never even asked me what I used. Most of the time, like on the day they hire you or on the interview, they'll be like, "Hey, are you familiar with Linux?" And you'd say, "Yeah, I am," and that's it. It's like it's not important enough to put on a resume, unless you're working with Linux stuff and Windows stuff and like native applications. Yeah, Atom, IntelliJ, you're just listing a bunch of, yeah, you don't need that stuff. Postman, you don't need that on there. That takes about 35 seconds to learn. Heroku, you don't need on there. Git, yeah, sure, Git would work. MailChimp, no. Google Linux, no. G Suite, no. Divi and WordPress. WordPress you can put, you don't need Divi. So you can cut this down to Git and WordPress. And Adobe Suite if you really would like to. I would say front end, back end, other. And in other, I would have things like Adobe Suite, Git, WordPress. That's it. What else? Okay, so we went over your skills. Let's go over your projects. Fridgeman. You got code preview and prototype. I love it. We'll click on those in a sec. Food Inventory Manager, which makes tracking food inventory expiration a breeze. Beautiful. Oh, whoops. Crap. So, see what happened there? It didn't open a new tab. It took over the tab. So, make it open a new tab, please. I'm pretty sure you could do that within a PDF. If not, then I guess you can't do anything about it. But built RESTful Node.js backend API which transfers Postgres SQL data to React.js frontend. I mean, okay, that's what Postgres does. That's what React does. That's what Node does. Like you don't need to say this because that's what those things do. I'd rather you talk to me about something that you can do within the app. Is there a cool feature within the food tracking? Oh fuck. Is there a cool feature within the food tracking inventory application that I can use? Talk to me about that. Tools used, perfect. You don't need to say tools used. I would just take the list here that you have and put it under Fridgeman or under, yeah, I'd put it under Fridgeman line here. And then I would just make it italic. And you can make it even a bit smaller font just so that it blends in. You have this like initial description here and then bullet points. I would just make them all bullet points. Like this first line is great. These other three are weird. Let's see, set up user authentication using Express session. Yeah, you're just like, this is like a technical feature list. I don't think you shouldn't be putting this on your resume. You should be putting this in the GitHub README. That's what I would put in the README. That's a really good feature list to say in the README of a project. No problem, if not, you have to go. No, I don't have to go, I was just, yeah. Sent you a video to Andrew Kirby. Okay, I'll take a look at it after stream. Thanks a lot for the feedback, Marfolio. I hope it helped you out. Have to run off to do something. Just finished watching the feedback. Awesome. Yep, I agree. The funniest part is last time we reviewed it, it has 23 subs. Now 108. Damn, I didn't realize that. That's huge. That's big growth. PowerShell is a skill. I don't know if I'd put it as a skill. Like, it's a good thing to know, but I've never had a job ask me those things, and I don't think they care because it's not something that takes a long time to learn. You know, it's like Git. Git is not something you'd be like, sorry, we're not hiring you. You don't know Git. You know. Linux is a skill, but PowerShell. I don't think I'd put Linux. It's just like, yeah. You can put in others Linux. But having a whole section called operating systems, unless you're working with a job that needs you to know the different operating systems, then you should be fine. It's a little too much information here. I would rather cut it down, and then if they want something, they can ask you. Like, I think telling what it does, because most of them don't have technical knowledge. Yeah, I think telling what it does is a little too much. Saying like how you're storing session data and stuff, like that's a feature list I would have in a README, not on your resume. Hiring Git experts. I remember Josh on stream said Git can be, like he said like 90% of Git can be learned in 2 days, and his chat went wild. Everyone was like, what are you talking about, Josh? You need years of experience in GitHub and Git. You're not a real developer. Like, doing nuts. I was like, holy crap, he just said Git, you can learn most of it in a day or two, and it's true. Because that's how most of us do it. There's literally an app, I don't remember what it's called, that I used to learn Git. It was like a console app, and it literally told you like, okay, now you have a project and you have to push it. Write the command. And you wrote the command, and if you're wrong, it told you try again. And if you're right, it said good, here's the next question. You can learn it in 2 hours? Yeah, it's not... Yeah, exactly. Same thing with HTML. HTML has a lot of things you should know, but most of HTML, like 80 to 90%, you can learn within a day. Within a week, sure. That last 10%, you don't really need to know. That's what you Google. I 100% agree with that. I think the order of tools and software should be ordered at most needed to knowledge, at least. Yeah, I think it's just a waste, to be honest. I think this whole section here is a waste of room. Also, languages and frameworks, just make this front-end, back-end. Front-end, and then have it both languages and frameworks that are front-end related in the front-end section, and same thing with the back-end. Then you'd be able to get rid of literally this. All that. And then operating systems can get replaced with other, and that's where you can put certain things that you're really proud of that you could put. How do you make a resume responsive? Like add links in a PDF? Honestly, the best way would just be to watch a video about it. Like you could just hyperlink certain words, and when you export as a PDF, it keeps it hyperlinked. But when you print out that website, when you print out the resume, it's not. So you just have to be careful with that. Okay, so we looked at that. ER desktop. Is screen recording... Wait, what? Is the title clickable? Is that why my computer's freaking out? No, I must have clicked code, sorry. A screen recording application built using Node.js, React, and Electron. You don't need that. That's a full line that you can just have it React, Node, Electron. Added remote Node.js. Okay, so this is like the kind of messages you would have when you push your code up to GitHub. And this is the kind of things you would have in a feature list, a technical feature list. Give me a bit more user story. Make it a bit more simple, as if an HR person was reading this. And if they want more detail, they would click on your code, which would bring them to your project, and then you would have your README, and that's where the technical description would be. But that's really cool that you built an app that could do screen recording. Like that's pretty cool stuff. That's Mike saying that, not HR lady Mike, not Karen. Like I've always wanted to do Electron stuff, I just never have the time or never really interested in spending like a week on it. JScraper. a web scraper written in Java using JSoup for HTML parsing. I think that's still a bit too technical, personally. Personal opinion, I would make it less technical. An application that reads through websites, no, it's a bit too surface level. You have to find a line, to be honest. But I think making it less technical on the resume and more technical in your readme is more important. Because not everyone who's going to be reading your resume is super technical, and those who are technical have a beautiful button called Code and Preview to go and see the project if they would like to. Also, you don't have previews for these two projects, which aren't web apps, obviously, but I would have a video where you explain how it works. Show the process. Be like, all right, open the video up, make it a minute long. Here is a website. We'll be parsing it using this app. Here's how the app's going to work. It's going to go and read through the HTML, take the HTML and turn it into X data. It's going to take X data and put it here and do this to that and do that to that. And that's how the project works. You know? I saw an Electron screen recording app on Fireship. Damn. That's cool. I'd like that. Wait, what? So Postman is for testing APIs. Yeah, but I don't think it needs a spot on the resume. I don't agree with that. Wait, I missed a couple messages, I guess. Yeah, I didn't add much order to it, which wasn't the most intangible thing. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm just giving you a raw review of how I would react if this was put on my desk. Do I think this is a hireable resume? Personally, I would say no, just to be harsh on you, just to clean up the little things. I'm sure you can get a job with this, but would it be like the kind of job you'd want? Maybe not. Yeah, languages is your selling point more than the tools used. I think your projects is your projects are your selling point. Because your project proves your language, proves the ability that you can build things, and proves everything. Like, showing you like a function I built in Java that does something small doesn't really show you that I know the language. But showing you a full built out project that I would be working on something similar at the job, that would show a lot more. Postman is for API. Yeah, you test out endpoints. Its design is amazing. Yeah, design's pretty clean. It's like, my eyes know where to look for things. I think it's just wording and organization. I think a little simpler wouldn't hurt when it comes to the way you're writing things out. I think it's very technical. I'm sure there would be someone who would look through. I think maybe if you sent this to like a startup where like the technical guy was also the one hiring, maybe this would do better. But if you were sending this to a bit of a bigger company with an HR person that doesn't understand all these technical terms, I think that would be worse. It's obviously there's certain situations where it'd work and it wouldn't. Nice use of reject to retrieve data. That could work too. Yeah, right here. My coworkers like Fireship. Nah, that could be good for him. He could send it to your coworkers. That's right, I'm a senior in high school for a high school position. Hey, I mean, there's no reason to not improve it, right? It can always be better. And who knows, even, you know, the people in high school who get hired for software engineering jobs, not a lot of them, but I wouldn't even say you're in high school. I would just apply. If they ask you how old you are, just say, hey, I'm legal age to work in the US or wherever you live. I actually have an interview in 2 days for it, so I'm nervous. Damn, it's big. Just don't be nervous. Just literally practice. Find someone and practice with them. It's a YouTube channel that does coding related videos, Drew. Oh, damn. Oh, that's for Fireship, yeah. I thought that was the job for a second. If you got an interview already, then you don't have to worry about the resume as much. Sell yourself in that. I think you should focus on the resume because the interview doesn't mean you got a job. The interview means you have an opportunity to talk to them about a job. And even if you get the job, you should still work on your resume and keep applying and keep interviewing. Even if you have a job and it's going well and everything's great, keep interviewing, keep going to jobs, saying like, hey, I'm actually not available right now, but within the next couple of months, possibility that we could talk again. You know, like there's no reason. Shopify hires from high school. Shopify forces you to do internships, which then convert to jobs, which is really annoying. But I can understand why they do that. At least that's how it works in Toronto right now, I think. I have to check up on that. If I graduate with 3+ years of experience, should I even apply for junior position? You should apply for every position. Will you discuss any top interview questions anytime soon? I had a website I showed earlier. Really early in the stream, within like the first couple minutes, 30 seconds of interviews. It's a really nice website. It doesn't have all the kind of questions you could be getting in interviews, but if you had a friend pull this up and you guys were sitting next to each other or in a Discord call and just asking each other these questions and trying to get the other person to answer in a very understandable and easy way, then this is a really cool website. Like, you can go between different languages and stuff. Let's say we go JavaScript and something complicated or intermediate, whatever, here. And you ask them, what is the difference between an element and a component in React? And then they have to explain it to you, and you have a description here of what it actually is. And then good to hear are things like, if they said that, you would give them an extra point. Like if he said elements are immutable, plain objects that describe the DOM nodes or components you want to render. If they say that, you'd be like, oh, extra point for you. Great answer. The alt attributes is what shows up when you hover over it. Yeah, the alt attribute is a description for the scrapers and description for the image when it doesn't pop up. Reverse a linked list. Oh, gotta love that. Wow, Cheese Whiz, you can't reverse a linked list? Oh, there's no way you can work on our web apps, even though your projects are probably better than our company website. But you can't reverse a link. Oh, you can't do FizzBuzz? Without Googling? You can't write on a paper FizzBuzz? I hated that. I had one interview question that was literally meant to fail you. It was like this crazy complicated, like they had like 5 examples that all like led into each other. So like when I panic on a question, I always move on to the next one. It's like the best skill I learned. When I'm bad with the question, I don't understand it, whatever, I move on to the next one. But they built this test that was like exactly my kryptonite. It was like, you couldn't do question 2 without question 1. You couldn't do question 3 without question 2 and 1, you know, one of those. And I remember I got myself to 5. And I don't remember what it was, but 6 was like, I could not figure it out in time. It was a time test on a whiteboard with a person sitting in front of you staring at you while you're writing on the board. It was a rough one. It was great practice though. Not to get nervous, not to sweat, not to panic, not to say I don't know necessarily. Just try and like think it through and explain to them your thought process and all that. And it was good. It's good practice. I think one thing that really helps if you guys are ever trying to learn things, either stream or record yourself doing Code Wars or Code Kata or any of those code tournament websites, like those LeetCode kind of websites, and talk out what you're doing. Talk out and even comment it. That's hard. Like if you're doing like FizzBuzz, but you have to explain it to somebody in the room who doesn't understand code or anything, and you have to try to explain to them your thought process, being able to do that would literally land you like interviews. 100%. What is Electron and SCSS? SCSS is like a preprocessor for CSS. It's just like a better way of writing CSS. Is like the most non-technical way I could say it. It has like certain things you can do within CSS that are not really CSS properties. Like you can make a variable called green and set it to a color, and every time you call the word green in your CSS, that color would get accessed. It's like having code within CSS, if that makes sense. You can also have like certain things, what's it called? What else can you have? I don't remember. But there's certain features that you can do with SCSS that make your CSS a lot easier and simpler. I was asked that. Yeah, that's rough. Electron is essentially a desktop app that was ported from a web app. Yeah, pretty much Electron is a Chrome desktop app. A Chrome window without anything around it. A little more complicated than that, but that's a simple way of explaining it. My first channel helped me learn a lot. Yeah, I started doing that when I first started. It's definitely practice. Yeah, it's rough. When you realize you can't talk about code out loud while writing it, it's rough. LeetCode is impractical for actual on-the-job development, but it's great for interviews and problem solving. It's really good for algorithmic thinking and being able to explain yourself while thinking. The LeetCode websites are really good. Like, imagine doing a LeetCode example and having to talk to someone at the same time, explaining to them what you're doing while screen sharing or recording your screen or streaming or whatever. Doing that is really, really helpful. It helped me a lot, because even now you still hear sometimes I screw up words and I stutter and all that. It's just when you're thinking and you're talking at the same time, it's a lot harder than when you're just talking and not thinking. Like, I'm reading chat while talking, while thinking. It's sometimes, you know, a word comes out wrong and I'm like, wait, what did I just say? Mix-ins is one of them. Functions, if statements, variables. Yeah, you have programming features within CSS. There's SCSS, there's Sass, there's less. They're all the same, just different features. All you need to do is just compile. Oh yeah, you can also set up auto compilers on SCSS, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's compiling, but you can have it like auto update and yeah. Also, when you're using SCSS and you write it out, you have to convert it to CSS. Just like you would do with TypeScript and JavaScript. Because the web takes three things. It takes JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and nothing else. Anything you use other than that is getting translated into one of those three. Or all of those three, or a combination. Interviewer wants to see and hear your thought process. Yeah, that's super important for them, to hear you talk about code and be able to talk about it in a way where everyone understands you. Because if you can't talk your thought to somebody, if you can't explain your thought process to somebody, it's gonna be a really hard person to work with. Hey, Kai, what are you writing there? And then you explain it, and I don't understand anything you're saying. That's gonna be a really hard person to work with. Wonder what kind of thought went into the development of React kind of frameworks. They wanted to make HTML kind of things very smart. Like, React is a smart thing, right? It reloads itself automatically. It's a very light way to, or no, I mean, Vue is a lot lighter, but like, it's just a revolutionizing something that already exists but is not the best. Try to save you a bunch of time and make it. They're optimizing what exists. Compile on save, does a VS extension. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things for it. You can also set it up within a build, like with Webpack or Gulp or whatever. Alright, so it's built with the composition in mind. They avoided using inheritance. That too. React is awesome. React is awesome. I feel like Vue is looking pretty cool right now, and it's not that hard for people to go from React to Vue. You go join the next stream 100% free. Awesome. Thank you for being here. I think I'm gonna go too. Did I miss anyone? I think I missed one person, but I don't know if they're still in the stream. Thanks a lot for resume review. Appreciate it. Thank you for sending it in. I don't think there's anything else I could tell you other than let's see this quickly. Oh, whoa. Okay, I didn't know that was clickable. Try and describe here a little bit more about what you learned. Instead of saying like finalist in something, like I don't really know what Cyber Patriots is. I'd have to Google and all that, but obtains key skills. I wouldn't say that. I would just say graphic video production, just right off the bat there. Nominated for Kansas Boys State 2020. I don't know what that means. Dive team, like I don't know. These don't really matter at a job. They don't really care. Just talk about what you learned in web development. Built websites, you know, built backends, built something. What did you do? What did you learn that helped you become a better web developer or software developer for this company? Like, saying that you are a varsity swimmer is cool on a personal level, but on a corporate level, like what can you do for the company? You being a varsity swimmer does nothing. You know what I mean? Classically cost some with the stream. I'm gonna stream again on my channel tonight, I think. I really want to, but we'll see how busy it gets. But I want to do some Blender stuff. Maybe we'll do some like 3D design. We'll design some things like this. Maybe we'll make like a forest or ice cream or something. I would love to learn how to make stuff like this.
Organizing your development
One sec.
projects and sprints can be hard. It involves tracking backlogs,
I would love to learn how to make a storm like this. And make like an actual show or stuff like this. Like imagine if you can have like a person running down the road and this giant tornado storm is behind them. And make this into like, make like mini TV show, not mini TV shows, that'd be a lot of work, but maybe make like mini skits. Ooh, helps to swim in that money. True. Maybe if they have like a swimming team on the company, they'll hire you purely because you're a good swimmer, and they'll be like, here's Jack from accounting department. He's gonna be on the swimming team. You like do nothing for the job, but you just swim and you win the prizes for them. Shark tornado. Nah, dude, this is so cool. Or like the one with the storm was insane. Or just look at this. Just look at this. Blender forest. Cinematic. Let me pause this music for a sec, just so you guys can get a little taste. Get a little taste of the kind of stuff you can make. This is CG. Look how good that looks. That looks so real.
Hey everyone, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I have a fun.
See, like that's what it looks like without anything, just like untextured. And then he did a really cool technique to make this happen. I watched that video already. Oh, this was nuts. This is full C. Okay, I can stream for 10 hours about this stuff. This stuff is so cool. I subtitling cache of Blender stream. Awesome. Okay, this is fully Blender CGI. It's weird because for some reason this cat is in every video. That looks so real. Okay, that's fake, but still. Look at that. That's insane. It's very abstract. I would love to make a corporate skit like that in a corporate office like that. The design and the music is so good too. This looks so good. How is it not real? I don't understand how they do it. Like that's a fake person and you can kind of tell, but like the materials and the lighting is so good, and that's what makes this so realistic. Like the way that there's one light all the way in the back of the shot, like all the way down here, and it's affecting the car right here. Like the lighting simulation, the materials, like look how the paint has a different reaction to light versus the street. Like do you see it right here? Can you guys see my mouse on the screen? You see how right here, this strip of light? Look how it's hitting the cement and doing one kind of like very dim reaction to the cement, but here it's super shiny. It's little things that we realize, but we don't see them, like we see them subconsciously. I'm gonna be all night watching these things now. Yeah, dude, it's insane. That was me last night. Till like 2 a.m. I just wanna learn how to make this, and I won't do it for a while. It's just like fun things to make on the side. Gonna be learning Blender today. I think right now the best person I can recommend for those of you who are in here that would like to learn this, Blender Guru. Pretty good YouTube channel. Probably one of the best YouTube channels for Blender. Literally the Blender Guru. Did you watch the Unreal 5? The Unreal Engine 5, oh my god. The Unreal Engine 5 reveal, yes, I loved it. It looked really cool. I was actually watching this one cinematic from Unreal Engine that looked really freaking awesome. I don't know if I can find it. This one. It looks pretty crazy. It's just like a fight scene, but they make it look really good. Anyway, so this guy has a lot of stuff for beginners, like even for me, like beginner shit. Like this was the one I did.
Without a college degree, I was just
This
fighting.
one right here. Rigid bodies, so like so a lot of the times when you see like rain and stuff in CGI films, it's most of the time is simulation. It's not like they take every drop and they animate it and then they take that animation and make 1,000 drops and make them all drop at the different time. They just have like a box that spawns drops of rain and just record a simulation of rain falling on an animated character or something like that. Or like when a building explodes in a CGI movie, they don't choose where every piece goes. They just have it explode. It's a particle, exactly, a particle simulation. Is it Blender free? It is.
In this video, I'm going to show you how you can have some fun.
So like I made this. It was really cool.
In Blender by creating a wrecking ball.
So he teaches you like how to make the chain, and like one chain is a rigid body that's stuck, and these boxes are all rigid bodies, but you can also make like soft bodies, like things that are like when they get hit, they actually like goo, you know, like Jello or something like that, or water. So you get really, really crazy stuff. Anyways, let's finish this quickly. This one kind of looks fake, but still. I wonder if these guys have, oh, he does have other stuff? Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Let's see if we can find one more. Whoa, I want to see that. Maybe it's just real and authors debating us? No way. I'm telling you that the stuff they make in these movies, that's why like a lot of movies have half real, half fake stuff. Like some movies will have like a house, and in real life when they record outside of this house, behind the house is a giant green screen, like big, the size of a house. A green screen that literally goes around a full home, and they cut out the sky and everything, and they just keep the house, and they can put the house in any landscape. Hey, you might not want to be learning Blender all night, not completing my Python. Then give yourself a goal. When you complete the Python course, you can do Blender things. Don't procrastinate. Trust me, this shit takes literally like a week to make, so I don't think you're gonna be spending all day on Blender. It's a lot of work. Like making a rock is pretty easy, making a tree is pretty easy, but making a full forest is pretty difficult. I mean, there's some tutorials on doing it easy, but yeah. I just want to see the water simulation. Yeah, so it doesn't look amazing, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, some of these things can take and rendering them out, if you don't have like a crazy GPU, yeah, like most of these movies need to use render farms because they take so long to render out. This was pretty cool. This is something simple, but it looks insane. This for a week, maybe not that example, but some stuff can take really long. Rendering out usually takes a while, but check this out. So he takes like
simulations.
He takes like an explosion and puts it on planets, and it looks crazy.
To 120. It's looking pretty cool. This is, which sort
Wait,
of breaks
does he
up
show the
surface
video or
and-
do it? Where's the video? Oh, it's just starting. Look how cool this looks. How cool does that look? Just the
Hey,
world,
what's up,
just a
everybody?
big explosion in it. If you know shortcut keys when editing, it'll save you time. Yeah. I have a 1050 and a 1060. Okay, that's not bad. You'd be able to do that, but still, yeah, rendering these things out is not easy, especially simulations like water simulation, any kind of like things like smacking together, shattering a creepy skeleton. That sounds weird. Yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff. Just like this probably took so long to make. But it looks so good. I think you could even do wind simulation. I'm not sure. Yeah, one thing I'd love to learn after getting the basics down is how to use my phone to record my face and like me talking and moving my lips and my nose and my eyes and whatever, and then mapping that into data and putting that on an actual face in an animation. That could be really cool. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream. Appreciate all of you guys being here. I posted a link to my personal channel down below. So, or I'll post it again. If any of you are interested, we could do this on stream. If there's no one on stream, it's hard to do on my own, because then I'd rather just close the stream and do it on my own. But if you guys hang out, it'll be fun, and you guys could follow along. Thank you so much for the stream. Thanks for being here. And is there anything else I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, there's a video we gotta work on for the channel tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it done today. Later it was fun, yeah. Smooch. Okay, Kai. Alright, see you guys.